you've been training BJJ for a while, you know a few things. Everybody trains hard and everybody trains a lot. It's not about adding more hours to your training to get better. At a certain point, there's only so many hours in the week. But if you can optimize your training, you can be more efficient with your training, and you can train smarter, you're going to get a lot more out of that training program. So I'm going to give you a few tools that we use from human performance and using the science of human performance that you can apply to your BJJ training so that you can optimize it, make it more efficient, and make sure it's transferring from the mats into the competition. So most of you are probably familiar with this quote: in the face of adversity, we do not rise to the level of our expectations, but we fall to the level of our training. And that could not be more true when it comes to psychology and the way the body adapts to training. So what that means is when you get out there and you're trying to compete, you're not going to do what you think you want to do. You're not going to be thinking. All you're going to be doing is reacting to how you trained, what your body has adapted to, the habits and the routines that you've gone through in training. So taking this principle, if you think about how a lot of people do competition training, they think that because I'm going to compete and I want to be in shape, that if I do a hard 8 or 10 minute round and then I give minimal rest and then I do a bunch of those back to back, and I'm going to be so conditioned that when I get out and compete, it's going to be easy. The problem with that, if you've done that type of competition training, you know that this is true. If I train hard like that for an hour, I'm not going as hard as I possibly can. I may be giving it my full effort, but I'm fatigued. So I'm going to get a little sloppier, or I'm going to be conserving energy in certain points because I know that I just trained for 25 minutes and I've still got 8 more rounds that I have to go. So there's no way I'm giving it 100% effort the whole time. And what that's actually training my body to do is be slower, or to be more conservative with my energy, or be more conservative with the moves that I'm trying. And it's not going to allow me the optimal transfer into the competitive event where I may be fighting a 10-minute match and then I have an hour before I compete again. So I have full time to recover, and then I want to be able to go out and do it again. So a better way to optimize that training would be to mimic very similar intervals, just like you're going to see when you step out there in competition. So let's say I was going to my competition training. I'm going to do a 10-minute hard round, just like I would do in my first match. Then I'll give myself a few minutes. I don't have to wait an hour, but I'll give myself 3 to 5 minutes to fully recover so that when I get out there for my next round, I can give a full effort, just like it was my second match in the tournament. People who do that other kind of training, you see this a lot. A lot of guys will get in their first match, they say they didn't really feel that good. Hopefully they won that match and they get the opportunity to go in and fight a few more matches in that tournament. Sometimes they lose that first match and they just didn't feel like they had it. Nothing was clicking. And that's because they've trained themselves to be slower in those first couple matches, because normally when they go into competition training, they know they're doing 10 rounds. So the first round isn't that hard. They take their time. They're more conservative. And then by the end, they're tired, they're sloppy, they're fatigued, and they're training themselves to be sloppy. And that's what's going to transfer over. We don't get to choose what transfers over. However I spend the most of my time in training is what's going to transfer over. So we want to optimize that competition training. That doesn't mean you can't train when you're fatigued. There's a time and a place for that, but that means we're trying to use training as conditioning. So if my goal is I want to push my conditioning hard, I know that I might be a little sloppier, but my goal is let's be as technical as possible, but I'm trying to push it hard into fatigue so that I can work on my conditioning. But if I'm trying to optimize my competition training, then that's when I need to apply the proper rest periods so that I can get everything out of each individual match, and it's going to train my body to be ready to go out and fight hard for 10 minutes, recover, fight hard for 10 minutes, recover, so that I can fight just as good to my best potential at every single match in that tournament. So that's one of the best ways that we can take the specificity and the science of human performance and apply that into my skills practice or into my competition training so you can optimize your training, get more out of it, and make sure that it's transferring onto competition day.